So here we have chlorine ion. So chlorine ion is a negative ion, right? It has a mass number of what? 35 and an atomic number of what? 17. So we're asked to find the number of proton, B the number of electron, and C the number of neutron. So A, we're asked to find the number of what? Of proton. Number of proton, P. So the number of proton is always equal to the atomic number. So the atomic number of chlorine is what? 17. So the number of proton is equal to what? 17. Then B is to find the number of electron. So the number of electron, E, will be equal to, it will be equal to proton, the number of proton, which is 17, plus the charge. The charge is what? Minus. This minus symbolizes -1. So the charge is 1, right? Plus 1. Why is it so? It is so because chlorine ion is an anion. So what are anions? Anions are negative ions, right? Anions are what? Are negative ions. Anions are negative ions. So chlorine is an example of an anion because it's a negative ion. And how are they formed? They are formed when atoms gain electrons. So this is chlorine atom, right? When this chlorine atom gains one electron, when it gains one electron, it becomes what? Chlorine ion, right? So anions are formed when atoms gain electrons, right? Chlorine atom gains one electron and it becomes chlorine ion. So the number of electron in chlorine ion will be equal to 17, which is the number of proton plus the electron it has gained, which is plus 1, right? So 17 plus 1 will give me what? 18. So chlorine ion contains 18 electrons, right? Then C is to find the number of what? Neutron. The number of neutron. So the number of neutron is equal to atomic mass minus what? Atomic number. So the atomic mass of chlorine is given as what? 35 minus the atomic number is given as what? 17. So 35 minus 17 will be equal to what? 18. So therefore, chlorine ion contains 18 neutrons, 18 electrons, and what? 17 proton. So the number of neutron in chlorine is 18, number of electron in chlorine ion is 18, and the number of proton in chlorine ion is what? 17. So it's very important that you should know that chlorine ion is an example of an anion. Anions are negative what? Ions. Anions are negative what? Ions. And they are formed when atoms gain electrons. So this is chlorine atom. When it gains one electron, it becomes chlorine ion. All right.